What if nothing could touch you? Not because you were numb, but because you were built for it. What if the world screamed and you stood still? No defense, no excuse, just presence. No need to fight, no need to explain, no need to run, because nothing out there could bend what's been forged in here. That's not apathy, that's mastery. To walk through storms without flinching, to hear the noise and choose silence, to be unshaken, not because life is kind, but because you are stronger than it. This is Stoicism, not a shield, a center, a place where nothing touches unless you let it. They can't hurt what's soft, but it bounces off what's still. Most people, they react, they defend, they break. Not because the world is cruel, but because they gave it access. Let every word cut, let every look shake, let every shift in energy pull their piece apart. But not you. You don't flinch, you don't beg, you don't move unless it's your decision. That's your power. Not in what happens, but in what you allow to hit. They can't hurt what doesn't flinch. And you've trained for this. Built quiet, held still, ready for the world, without letting it in. Purpose is your shield. Without purpose, you're light. You float, you sway, you break. Every voice pulls you, every look redirects you, every bad day defines you. But with purpose, you become heavy, anchored, still. They talk, you stay. They leave, you stay. They attack, you don't flinch. Because you're not here to impress, you're here to fulfill. What? That's for you to define and defend, not with words, with actions. Every single morning is a battlefield, and without a shield, you bleed. Purpose is what covers you, what holds you, what makes pain just noise. So write it, burn it in, return to it every time the world tries to pull you out of yourself. Because a man with no direction doesn't need an enemy. He destroys himself. Find your purpose, or be moved by theirs. Guard your mind like a fortress. Not everything deserves access. Not every voice belongs inside. Your mind is a gate, not a sponge, not a trash can. A fortress. What enters shapes you. What repeats becomes you. So guard it. Cut the feed, mute the noise. Question the source before it becomes your soundtrack. You think it's harmless? It's not. Every scroll, every jab, every thought you let in without challenge builds something in you. Brick by brick, belief by belief. Until one day, you wake up defending a mind you didn't even choose. The Stoics knew, you are what you hold. So hold better. Filter harder. Be brutal with the gate. This world is loud, be louder inside. Your peace depends on your perimeter. Offense is a choice. Choose silence. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not every jab needs your fire. They want you triggered. They want you loud. They want you to dance when they pull the string. Don't. Offense is a trap, a leash, an invitation to hand over your peace to people who haven't earned your energy. So don't take the bait. They talk, let them. They twist, stay still. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means power under control. Anyone can scream, but only the trained can sit in fire and not blink. Epictetus said, if someone provokes you, know this. It's not what they said. It's what you believed about it. So believe less, react slower, and let your quiet be the last sound they hear. Criticism only stings if you agree. Words don't cut. Belief does. Someone calls you weak, it only hurts if somewhere in you believe it. So check that. Don't fight their voice. Fix the echo inside. The Stoics didn't chase reputation. They chased truth, not public truth, inner. That's the difference. Criticism bounces off those who've already decided who they are. You can't shame someone who holds no secret doubt. So own your flaws, fix what's yours, and leave the rest on the floor. Don't collect their words. Don't replay the insult. Ask one thing. Is it true? If not, it's just noise. And noise only lingers if you stop and listen. Feel, then respond. You're not a robot. You'll feel it. The anger, the sting, the pull to snap back. Let it come. Let it rise. But don't move yet. Breathe. Because the first reaction is rarely the right one. Anyone can react. That takes nothing. But to respond with clarity, with control, with direction, that's power. You don't have to match their energy. You don't have to prove you're hurt. You don't owe them a moment of your ruin. pause, feel, choose. And when you move, make it surgical, make it clean, make it yours. The Stoics didn't pretend they had no emotion. They just refused to be owned by it. Fear and shame are stories. Rewrite them. Most pain doesn't come from what happened. It comes from what you told yourself about it. They laughed. You made it mean, I'm not enough. You failed. You wrote the script, I always ruin things. That's not truth. That's fiction. Written by fear. Edited by shame. Played on repeat. The Stoics didn't just endure life, they interpreted it differently. They questioned the voice inside, the story, the label. So rewrite it. You're not broken, you're building. You're not behind, you're becoming. You don't need to fix the past, you need to stop dragging its story into your next page. Fear is just a narrator. Shame is just a sentence. Take the pen back and write something stronger. Prepare for impact, daily. Don't be surprised when the world hits. Expect it. Train for it. Welcome it. The Stoics had a name for this, premeditatio malorum. To imagine the worst before it comes. Not to suffer twice, but to never be caught off guard. Run the scenarios, feel the crack, smell the fire before it starts. That way, when it does, you're not shaken. You're ready. Most people live in hope. You live in preparation. Not because you're negative, but because you respect the game. Armor isn't for peace, it's for impact. So put it on before the day begins. And when the hit comes, don't flinch. Don't break. Just nod. And move forward like you saw it coming. Restraint is power in its purest form. Anyone can swing, anyone can shout, anyone can let go. But holding? That's different. Holding the urge to clap back, to prove, to punish, to let emotion run the show. The Stoic doesn't move first, he watches, he waits, he chooses. Not because he's scared, but because he's precise. Restraint isn't weakness, it's refinement. It says, I have power, but I don't throw it away. Every reaction you withhold builds pressure, builds focus, builds force. So when you do move, it's clean, it's deliberate, it lands. Power isn't how loud you get, it's how little you need to make the whole room go silent. Accept what is, act on what can. Most people suffer twice, once from the event, then again from resisting it. It happened. They hate it, they fight it, they carry it. But the Stoic doesn't fight reality, he meets it. Cold, raw, unfiltered. This is what it is. That's not surrender, that's strategy. Because only when you stop denying the storm can you start moving inside it. Accept what is, fully, fast, without flinch. Then act on what's still yours, on what hasn't been taken. Don't pray for it to change. Don't wait to be rescued. Just ask, what can I do with what I've got right now? Then do that. Again, and again, until what broke you becomes the reason you'll never break again. Live according to nature, fully. Nature doesn't rush, it doesn't beg, it doesn't explain, it just moves with rhythm, with force, with stillness, when stillness is needed. The Stoics didn't mean trees and rivers, they meant your nature. Who you are, beneath the noise, beneath the masks, beneath what the world tried to make you. To live according to nature is to come back to what's true, to not perform, to not pretend, to not push against what's already you. The world will try to shape you, to sell you a version they can control. Let it pass. Move like nature, with strength, with grace, without apology, because a man aligned with himself is the most unshakable force on earth. The world can't touch what's mastered within. You've heard the voices, you've felt the pull, you've taken the hits, but you're still here, and quieter than ever. Because now you know, they don't break you. You do. And you don't anymore. You've built the wall, you've guarded the gate, you've trained the breath between trigger and response. This isn't numbness, this is power. The kind that doesn't shake just because the world screams. The kind that moves only when it chooses. You don't need revenge, you don't need validation, you don't even need to be understood. You just need to remain still, sharp, untouchable. The world can't reach what's been mastered within.